the whole idea of self-awareness is something that unfortunately just isn't worked on, but needs to be worked on. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Teen Talks, and welcome to part two of our new series that is called It Starts With You. Now, today we are going to be talking about you. We're going to be talking about how do you develop a relationship with yourself? How do you develop what we call self-awareness, right? This is
Mhm.
something that I feel not many people give themselves the time to explore, right? Learning more about yourself, what you like, what you want to do in the future, the person you want to be. And I think that it's something that is so important for us to develop because there's so much going on in the outside world. Sometimes we need to support ourselves. Sometimes we need to be there for ourselves. So yeah, Susan, why don't you just kind of give us an idea of what self-awareness is so that we can get this ball rolling?
Well, yeah, and I think as parents, especially, um, when you know what you want
Hmm.
and when you know what you need and when you know what fuels you, then you're going to be a better parent for your child. But in order to figure that out, you need to spend a lot of time with yourself.
Hmm.
And I know when you're a busy parent, that's hard, but it is so important to make a regular practice of carving out time to do that. And we'll talk more about how and what you can do to do that. But being
Yeah.
self-aware is really, really, really diving deep into what lights you up, what makes you feel good, what makes you
Hmm.
calm, what you want. What is it you want in
Yeah.
life? You got one life to live, as far as we know. And what do you want it to be? You know, time is ticking away. And the more we are self-aware of what we want, the better we're going to be able to purpose and move our life to where we want it to go. So that's
Yeah.
why being self-aware is so important. And I
Hmm.
think we tend to just zoom through life without taking the time to really figure that out because it takes time.
Yeah.
And as you grow and learn, it changes. Your
Hmm.
perspective changes. Most of us live a really long time and we go through different seasons of life where we might think one thing when we're young, and as we get older, we totally switch. But to be aware of all of these things and to use them for our better good and for those around us, because the more you know about yourself, the more better parent you're going to be to your child. Plus, they're going to see that taking care of myself matters,
Hmm.
right? We always talk about as a parent to be a role model. They
Yeah.
see you taking yourself, they see you knowing what you want and taking action towards it. That is a great role model. So,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah. And also like think about it this way. You if you're in a relationship with someone or your relationship that you have with your kids or any family member, right? That relationship is evolving, right? You have to work on that relationship constantly. It's not
Mhm.
something that you work on once and then it's good for the rest of your life. No. It's something that's constantly changing, evolving, and you have to work towards it. And it's the same thing with yourself, right? You as an individual are also constantly evolving and changing, and you need to constantly be working on that relationship that you have with yourself. In the previous episode, which was part one of this series, we talked a little bit about that, like the words that you say to yourself, the thoughts that you have, and all of that. It's really important to be aware of if all of that is serving you, right? Serving who you are and who you want to be. And
Mhm.
I think it's an important thing to mention that, yes, we're always thinking about what we want to do in life, right? The things that we want to experience and all of that. But
The bucket
ultimately,
list.
the bucket list,
Usually it's the
exactly.
bucket list.
Exactly, yeah. It's that bucket list of things that you want to take off, right? Oh, I want to travel here. I want to earn this amount of money. I want to do this and this and this. And that's all great stuff. It's really good to have those. But there's an underlying thing, and it's the foundation of all of that. And that is understanding who you are and knowing the person you want to be. And it's so much more powerful because once you understand who you want to be, then you can purposefully make a decision towards that person, towards being that person, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think that the whole idea of self-awareness is something that unfortunately just isn't worked on, but needs to be worked on.
Yeah, the other part of it too is why it's so important is if you really don't understand yourself and what you want, you're going to get moved through the tide of life by
Mm,
whatever outside circumstances or things come at you, and you're going to allow it to control where you go.
yeah.
It might not take you in the direction you want
Hmm.
because you don't know what you want, right? You're leaving it up
Yeah.
to fate. You're leaving it
Yeah.
up to whatever the wind blows, it's going to blow me. But if you really are centered in on what you know that you need and that you want, then those outside forces, they don't have any power over you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's
nope,
so true.
I'm doing this. And these are my values, and I'm not doing that.
Hmm.
I'm not doing that. Because you're going to be pushed to do things that aren't
Yeah.
part of what you are. And if you know what you are, you can definitely go, nope, that goes against what I believe in, what I want, and everything.
Yeah, it's your compass, right?
It
It's your
is.
compass in life. It helps you, you pretty much get to develop your own compass that is going to be your guide through life. And, we kind of mentioned this before, but it also helps then with everything else. Like you being self-aware helps with your relationships. It helps with the things that you do in life. It helps with your own mood. It helps with so many things. And then it just makes, honestly, for me at least, I think this way, I think it makes life easier in so many
Hmm.
ways,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
is. It's like magic.
literally.
And
Yeah,
it's a necessity. It
yeah,
really is a necessity if you want to live the life you want. You got to know what
100%.
it is first. And you've
Yeah.
got it. We're all so different. Like there's some people who are just, they get energy off of being with people. And
Mm,
there's other people that get energy out of being alone. And all of these things, we're all so different. So you got to figure out what makes you tick. What's your passion? What lights? I mean, it's all those things. What
yeah.
can't you stand? You just like, I don't want that in my life. And get it out. All
Yeah.
those fun things that,
Hmm. Which is
right?
also so it's so important too, like even knowing what you don't like, right? Setting those boundaries for yourself because again, when it comes to things that you can't control, right? There are things that you might just be like, you know what? No, I don't want to settle for this, right? Because that's not who I am. And it's important to have those boundaries in life as well, because otherwise things are just going to come your way and you're not going to know what to do. You're just going to say yes to everything, when sometimes you should be saying no,
Oh, oh
right?
gosh. Then you're bringing up something else. You're bringing up something else. The pleaser, which
Mm,
I have been my whole life, has
people
have been a
pleaser.
pleaser. So, I'm just going to do whatever you need, or I'm always saying yes and all that stuff. When you
Yeah.
figure out what it is you really want, it makes it so much easier to go,
Mm,
nope, that doesn't work for me.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I appreciate what you're asking me to do, but I'm going in this direction and I can't fit that in.
Yeah.
It helps you to understand where you're going to set those boundaries. Because
Hmm.
I can say no a whole lot easier now because it doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry. I would love to help you, but that's not where I'm going.
Yeah. That's something that I've been trying to work on so much because I feel like I'm the same way. And like I say yes to too much. And then I feel the effect that it has on me later on and it's not healthy.
Mm,
But yeah, that's why it's important to be self-aware, right? There's so many reasons and like we said before, it's good to know what you want to do and all that stuff, but it's also really important to understand who you are and the person you want to be.
mhm.
And I think we kind of wanted to paint it for you guys visually. So we're gonna go through like this little exercise. Now, you can do this however you want to do it. I'm not going to ask you to close your eyes or do anything like that, but I just want you to imagine something and I want you to keep an open mind and kind of just play full out with this one, just so that you can really paint the picture and understand the importance of self-awareness and knowing who you are, right? So I
I
want you to
think you
just,
could close your eyes unless
you
you're
could, if
driving.
it's, yeah, if it's safe to do so, if it's safe
Yeah.
to do so.
I think it make it really more visual if you can close your
Yeah.
eyes. Not if you're driving.
Yeah, not if you're driving. Please not if you're driving. If it's safe to do so and you feel comfortable doing so, then you can close your eyes. So, I want you to just imagine yourself in a room with the people who are closest to you. Okay, so I want you to think about all these people, whether it is family, your friends, relatives, whoever it is, right? The people you love. the people who you have known for a while, right? Who you've connected with. Maybe these are people who you've known for a very long time. Maybe these are people who you've met just recently. These are people you care about, the people you love. So I want you to just imagine yourself in this room with all of them, okay? With all of these amazing people. But you don't feel like you're at your best. You feel like there's something off. You feel unhappy with yourself. You're frustrated because of things that are going on in your life. You might feel a little bit angry. Your life isn't what you want it to be. Now, just feel that feeling, right? That you may feel sometimes when you're just not at your best. Just try and really feel that feeling in this moment. How does it feel? Maybe you're sad and quiet and you're not talking to anyone. Maybe you're not talking to anyone in that room, even though you have your whole family there with you, but you're just not connecting with them. Maybe you're angry and you're frustrated. Maybe you're lashing out. Maybe they're trying to have a conversation with you, but you're getting annoyed. Maybe you're getting mad at them. You're impatient potentially. I want you to really see that and feel that. And look around the room now. Look at everyone in their eyes. How are they looking back at you? What are the emotions that they're showing you because of how you are showing up in that room? Are they happy? Are they smiling? Or are they worried about you? Are they concerned? Are they looking at you a bit differently? Really look at how your mood is affecting everyone around you and almost feel that weight on your shoulders. Feel that pain that is in the room, that energy, that tension. Now, look, that is possible. All of that, sometimes when you're feeling that way, it's really easy to bring that energy and then that energy can be reciprocated, right? But I want you to do now is I want you to flip it around, okay? In that moment, I want you to immediately just choose to think about something different and think about the person who you want to be for those people. I want you to think about, bringing them more joy, making them happy, making them laugh, sharing love with them, right? Maybe you want to spread that love. And I want you to just feel your body kind of just change, right? You relax a little bit more. Maybe you have a big smile on your face, right? And just feel that weight just lift off of your shoulders and look at all of their faces. Look at everyone in their eyes now. What energy are they giving you back? Are they smiling at you? Are they laughing at you? Are they giving you a hug? Are they laughing with you and everyone is just there having a good time? Do you feel better? Do you feel happy? Do you feel that joy that is in the room? Do you feel how the energy is now light and it's positive and it's powerful and it's enlightening? Really feel that moment that you're sharing with them. Because that right there is the power of knowing who you are and choosing to be the best version of yourself. And that is only possible once you are self-aware. Once you know the type of person you want to be, then that's how you're going to be able to show up that way regularly. And obviously, we're human beings. It's tough, right? Life happens, but there's always a choice. You always have the choice to show up in a better way for those around you and for yourself. So, look, it's easier said than done. We understand that. But what we want to do now is you can open your eyes, by the way. What we don't want to do now is we want to kind of share some different tools and techniques that you can start using to start being more self-aware, start developing that self-awareness, or even start reconnecting with yourself after maybe a few years or a few months, or even maybe you've never done this before. But to start reconnecting with yourself, redeveloping that relationship with yourself.
Hey, Susan here. If you're finding value in the content we are sharing in this It Starts With You series, we are very excited. It was only a few years ago that my life transformed because of these personal development concepts. Absolutely life-changing. I'm more aware of how to stop those limiting beliefs that hold me back, to not allow the world to dictate how I feel, and to take action and believe in my own power to create the life I want. Our hope is that through this series, you begin to feel your shift in power. Rayhan is the lucky one, though. He learned this at the age of 15. He has his whole life ahead of him. Can you imagine what life would be like when you develop this mindset and these skills at such a young age? I have no doubt it would have changed the trajectory of my life. These concepts are the cornerstone of what we teach teenagers through our Teen Talks specials on YouTube and the programs at fireflyquest.com. It has become our mission to transform young lives into confident and empowering forces for good. Because belief in themselves has to come from the inside to be able to navigate the curveballs and challenges that will come at them from the outside. Start your teen on the journey to becoming unstoppable with our introductory training, Thrive 101 Blueprint. In just 10 short guided video trainings, your teen will learn that they have the power to become the CEO of their life and thrive. And because we appreciate you, the Teen Talks listener, we want to give you $10 off Thrive 101 Blueprint. Just use the code TEENTALKS10. Give your teen the skills to unleash their power. Click the link in the show notes below to learn more.
So Susan, why don't you just start off with giving us one tool or technique that people can start doing?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I know you're busy. Everybody's so busy these days, especially when you're a parent and you've got those kids that, you put everything into those kids. I was a mom, I still am a mom. But when they were in my home, I know that I put everything into those kids. And now
Mm,
I wish I could go back and do something different. And so now I know this, finding out all this kind of new techniques to live a better life. I wish I would have taken the time and shown my kids that nope, my mom's taking a time out because mom needs to do something for herself.
yeah.
And you can make time. You can make time.
Hmm.
Set the boundary. Let them know this is mommy time. You take your time. It's called me time. And so when you're doing me time, try to be in silence. Try
Hmm.
to be in where you're just shutting out the noise.
Yeah.
And you can do this through meditation.
Hmm.
There's, and if you've never meditated before, there's plenty of things online. In fact, we'll put a link. We'll put a link to a meditation for you. You can journal. Journaling is so good because journaling is you can write down what goes good for you or what's not working for you, or you can put down everything you're grateful for, or you just dump the crap out on the page and then just go. Just
Yeah.
go. A journal will be something that you can reflect on later too, and you can see the growth that you've done.
Hmm.
Um, Very, very important.
Yeah.
Be mindful. Just go outside and focus on the leaves on the tree or the sound of the birds. But the point is to quiet your mind, to start to feel your body, to start to listen to what's happening. The intuition that shows up, that's when it
Hmm.
happens. It happens in the quietness. And
Yeah.
that's where you start to figure out yourself.
Hmm.
Any
Yeah.
other things you would add to that?
I will, yeah. So there's one thing that I actually thought of just now, literally in that moment. As a soccer player, when I would do a lot of my training on my own, I would actually have to push myself, right? And it was in those moments that I realized like that's also me developing my self-awareness and my relationship with myself
Mhm.
because I realized like, yeah, I have to be there for myself. I have to be the one who's pushing myself. So I would even say that you know, there's the one side of, and it's important to do both because I've done both and I've seen what it feels like, and so many people talk about it. On one side, you
Mhm.
have like, you need to take that time to spend that quiet time, right? That Oprah talks about quiet time with yourself. Um, but at the
Yeah, we were
same
just talking.
time,
He mentioned Oprah because I was just
yeah.
listening to her interview on the Jamie Kern Lima new podcast, and she was talking about how quiet time. She knew this way back before it was popular. That the quiet time is where you hear God, where you hear intuition, where you hear the universe, whatever, is where you feel and things come to you. It's only in the quiet that it
Hmm.
comes. When
Yeah.
there's the noise, you can't hear it.
Yeah.
And that's where you start, that's where you find you.
Hmm. And that's why, like that, so that stuff is so important. But I'd also say that another way to start developing that self-awareness is by doing something challenging alone.
Mm. Hmm.
Doing something that's hard, whether that is like running a marathon or giving yourself that challenge and training towards it, or, doing something that you've never done before, maybe like rock climbing or something adventurous, something different, something that you've never done, something that you know is
Trying
going to
new
be
things to
challenging.
see if, yeah, trying, because I think we forget,
Hmm.
we want to tell our kids, oh, try out all these things so that you figure out what it is you really like.
Yeah.
Do we do that when we're adults? Sometimes no. We get so
Hmm.
busy in life that we don't try out new things.
Yeah.
You might go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to try rock climbing
Yeah.
and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do it and see. And you might go, oh gosh, no way. It's
Yeah.
not for me. Or you might go, dang, this is fun. I
Yeah.
need to do this more. Or, or it could be beading, or I mean, it could be a bunch of things.
Hmm.
But try as we get older and we're adults, let's try to do more to open up our world a little more
Yeah.
and see there might be something that you just go, man, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I experienced that recently actually because my whole life has just been soccer, 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 and this one thing that I've been focused on. And ever since being back home, like I've told myself, like I just want to try new things. I want to experience new things in my life. Like I don't know, I want to go to museums, even if I don't really like it and I'm not that patient. Like I want to just do it. I want to go watch like shows, like theater, or I
Yeah.
want to play different sports. I want to like I played pickleball for the first time like
Oh yeah.
a week or two ago. I loved it. It was so much fun. I'm obsessed with this sport now, and I never
It's so
thought that
funny.
I'd. Yeah.
Pickleball originated in Washington, where I live, on
Hmm.
Bainbridge Island. When we moved to Washington 26 years ago
Hmm.
from California, our house had a pickleball court, and I'm like, "What's pickleball?"
Yeah. Well.
And we didn't even play it. We just took the net down, and the kids used the space for to ride their bikes and skateboards and play basketball.
How dare you?
I know. So pick up some pickleball. Everybody, it's
Yeah.
like the new thing.
Yeah. So much fun. But yeah, just try new things, be curious. Be a kid again. Be a kid again. You know? I think
100%.
we lose that side of ourselves as we grow older. So yeah, just tap into that again. Tap into
But
that
you're so
goofiness,
old
that
and you know so much
silliness.
about that, don't you?
I know, I've been living this life for a really long time. And what can I say? With a lot of time and experiences, have all this knowledge in my head and this wisdom, Susan.
Well,
Uh,
you do, because you have been so focused for your whole life on soccer. And that has been your passion and it's what's driven you. It's what you knew you wanted to do, but now you're coming into a new season of life
yeah.
where you're having to go. And I love this that you're doing this at such a young age that
Hmm.
you're able to go and go, wait a minute. Yeah, that was my passion, and it's still my passion, but I want more.
Yeah.
And you're trying
I
new things.
yeah. I think I realized especially, and this is like a moment of self-awareness for me, right? Soccer in my life, it used to be everything. It used to be my entire circle, sorry. It used to be really like just my life was soccer. And then all of a sudden, I started realizing, well, actually, soccer is this little tiny thing in this big thing of life, right?
Hmm.
At least for me. And that moment really shifted things in the way I saw the world and I saw my own life, where I saw myself, my dreams. And yeah, but all of this stuff, like I said, it's a journey. It's all about this journey. And
Hmm.
self-awareness is the compass for that
Yeah.
journey. And yeah, I think it's just something so beautiful when you're able to develop that relationship with yourself and just be more comfortable spending time on your own, and just being who you are, there's so many things that come with that. So,
Yeah, I'm about to take a road trip, which I do every year. So I'm going to
mhm.
drive from Washington to California, Southern California, and it's a long drive, 20 hours. So I will be in the car by myself for 20 hours. Talk about me time. That is, if you ever want to like a road trip by yourself is quite an experience.
Yeah,
And so if you haven't had a chance to do that, maybe say, hey, I'm going away for the weekend.
yeah,
Going away for the weekend and go take a road trip on your own. That
wow,
is a wonderful way to begin me time and figuring it out.
hmm,
Yeah. Or hikes, or I mean, yeah.
yeah.
So it's so important.
Yeah, just find your own thing and start small, start with something small and then it'll grow from there. But just start with doing something new, something that you haven't done in a while or testing something out, whatever it is, just do something. Take a little bit of action and then you'll start to see the benefit of it for sure.
Right. Give yourself permission.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission. I think we don't do that enough.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
don't have to be mom every day or dad every day. You can take a break. They'll be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that. Alrighty. Well,
Go out and get into a beautiful state. If you listen to part one, first part in the
hmm,
series, we talked about getting into a beautiful state where you choose whether you want to feel beautiful and have high energy, or if you want to suffer and be in low energy. It is your choice. So go crank the music, go on a walk, go do anything that, whatever it works for you, part of self-awareness, to
yeah,
get into that beautiful state. And we will see you in part 3 next week, where we're going to
awesome.
be talking about, ooh, that stuff in your head that just keeps going. We all have it. Ugh.
Ugh. All right. Well, take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to like the podcast, subscribe, or follow the podcast. And then, yeah, we'll just see you next week.
And if
Take
you're
care.
liking this series and you think someone else will benefit, please share.
Oh, yeah.
Please share it.
Share it
That's
with all
how,
your
I mean, our
friends.
our mission is to help everyone out there. That's our goal.
Hmm.
And so we can't do that unless you share. So please do so.
Yeah, share it if you found that there's value in it. And yeah, even comment any feedback or anything, your thoughts, any questions that you have. Why not? And yeah, anyways, we're rambling. We'll see you guys next week.